Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Wawa and I am going to chat with you about my September pick. I actually chose The Gaze by Elif Shafak in September. This one book that I consider as my personal book club that I actually advertise on Instagram and Threads with the hashtag one book at a time. This book is really pushes boundaries. It's very poetic, it's very sharp. It explores how powerful people control the narratives of the minority and those who hide among the majority, like the commentators behind those the keyboard warriors nowadays we call them. And I think Shafat does an amazing job in unraveling this issue. First off, can we take a moment to appreciate the book cover? I love to do this. Like every time I picked up a book, first thing I love to do in my effort to appreciate the writers or the author, I love analyzing the book cover. And look at this. It's whimsical. It has this circusy vibe. It's just pulling you in and waiting for you to read them. But is this really a circusy vibe though? If you have read Elif Shafak before, you understand what I meant and you know where I'm coming from. But if you haven't, is something that you gotta find out yourself. Just remember the tips here. Just think outside of the box. If it's Elif Shafak, always think outside of the box. Alright, book cover appreciated. Now it's time to get into the analysis. I put that away and I'm gonna start this conversation with a quote, and I have my notes here with me just in case you've been wondering why I keep looking down. I'm not distracted, I just have my notes in front of me. So here's the quote that hit me hard. If you continue to eat this way, you're going to become every fat lady in the future. Do you want everybody to call you fatty? Right. That quote really captures some real heartbreaking truth that we often ignore. If you ever felt judged based on how you look, based on how you say things, how you think, and what you do, that seems to be different than the majority, and you're being judged for it, this book is going to speak to you for over 200 pages. So the story jumps between 1880 and 1999, and it focuses on identity of that judgmental gaze that we all know too well, very well I suppose. And the locations of these are set mostly in Istanbul, and some of it are in France and Siberia. Oh yeah, and fun fact, south of Siberia seems to be the origins of some of the Turks that migrated from there. I didn't know that until I Googled it. So it's interesting. The story are told by our unnamed narrator. She struggles with a body image. She has these challenges in fitting into the unrealistic beauty standard. She's also described as humongous lady and also known as an eating machine. It's very heartbreaking the way she was described in this book. She's in a relationship with a dwarf, and this dwarf is only 80 centimeter height, and because of that he also has to face his own challenges in his life, and together they come as a couple, and the story goes on from there. And there's this sable girl. I think she's more like a mythical figure that weaves in and out of this couple story. She is known, both admired for her beauty, and also she's being feared for it. And I think from here, Shafak holds a mirror to society's view, making us reflect on our words and our actions. Is a very powerful message, and especially in a world that often in denial about this issue. We always say physical is not important. We always say this is a wrong thing to do, but for some reason the issue still exists, and therefore there's a lot of individuals out there that are affected by it, including myself. And I think Gaze really digs deep into how society's obsessions with beauty affects our lives, and especially our mental health these days. Shafak's writing is super poetic. It feels like I'm solving puzzle at times, and to be honest, confession time. I actually have to reread some of the section just because I needed to remind myself what am I reading and try to grasp the deeper meanings to what she's trying to say. It's a bit of brain workout, but I do feel like the whole experience are really worth it. I have a lot of takeaways, and with only 270 plus pages, I feel like I have a lot to take away, and I don't think this video do its justice, but I'll try my best to concise it, and the rest of it is for you to figure out. And the first thing that I take away is the gaze and its impact on people. So this book is like phenomenal for me. I feel it explores how society judgment shapes how we see ourselves, right? And it's written in 1990s and is shockingly relevant today. It addressed the taboos we face right now, and the narrative self-awareness and the dwarf's observations really highlight the weight of those external pressures. And I think it's just mind-blowing how the book continues to be relevant today. The core of this book, I think my cat, yes, I'm here. At the core, I think this book is all about journey towards self-acceptance. The message seems to be that only by you embracing ourselves at individual level, we can actually hope to lessen the society critical gaze on others. And I think the way Shafak turns the idea of beauty has turned it upside down with this book. Sure, beauty can bring power, but also brings pain and isolation. And the way she brings up that reality is amazing. The story of that sable girl that I mentioned earlier is actually a strong reminder of how dangerous it is to just idolize beauty. In a certain culture, beauty is everything. Skin color is everything. It all falls under this beauty standard that they set for the community. And women especially, and including myself, are often hit hardest by this societal pressure because they equate your youth with beauty, and it equates that with your intelligence. And you know what, there's growing group of women who embrace natural beauty, natural aging on the internet right now. I think is enough to come up with this voice. They need to be heard. Yes, sorry, what was I saying? So I think this group of women, they are so inspiring. I'll be back. What is it? All right, I am back. So I was saying about a group of women that exist nowadays, which is good. I admire those efforts where they talk about embracing natural aging and natural uh, body size for body positivity. And I think they are very inspiring because they are bringing us back to reality, reminding us that beauty is not about being aesthetically pleasing, but it's more about being authentically ourselves. Ultimately, the gaze is all about self-discovery. It's all about breaking free from what others are expecting from us. And one thing that I know is that a single gaze can really hurt someone, and because a gaze in action, and action speaks louder than those words that you would say to other people. And other interesting points that I found from this book is, yes, I'm here. Why don't you come here? Yes, sir. Do you want to be in the video, sir? Come on, sir. Georgie, come here. What is it? You want to say hi? Want to say hi? Say hi. Hello. Hello. All right. Just give me a minute, okay? I'll be there. Why don't you sit here? Good boy. Other points that I like about this book is that the book includes references to mythical gods and Islam religion. It adds depth to the story that she bring up in the book. And one of my favorite is about the Watchmen on page 161. the story essentially explores how observers shape narratives. And there's the eye of needle metaphors in 167. It symbolizes life narrow challenges, which is all about the gaze, all about commentators behind the scene and all that. Sorry, I'm a bit distracted. Yes, what do you want? So is this a perfect read? I would say not really. Not because it's bad, but because I am not really good with metaphor. I'm not really good with philosophy. I appreciate the message that she delivered, but I got lost in the writing like a couple of times. I have to drop it off, and then I have to take a break because it was too heavy and it was too tough for me to consume and digest. It's definitely tougher than other books that I've read from her. And one thing for sure is that if you're after a thought-provoking experience that challenge your views on beauty, and your views on physical outlooks, and also a journey to self-acceptance, this is the book that I think you can pick up. I'd be giving it a rating between 3.5 to 4, but leaning towards 4. I think it's pure magic in many ways, and is outstanding, is unforgettable. Although I did not understand everything that I've read, but I certainly understand the gist of it. I think I should go back and reread this book once again next time. And I do believe that the characters and the prose leave a lasting impression as well, and I is memorable. And I would say that some quotes felt like a bit out of place, maybe because I do not understand it very much. But I do felt like some of the quotes that she put in, they actually belong to another story altogether. And yeah, that's that. So, have you read The Gaze? What do you think about it? And did the metaphorical language that Shafak used in this book help to enhance your experience? So, let's chat. Write the comments below. Well, thank you for hanging out with me today. If you're looking for your next read, join me on Insta and Thread. Tag me if you're thinking to join my book club, hashtag one book at a time. And I am planning not to go through my TBR. Essentially, that's the reason why I started the hashtag one book at a time book club, is to clean up my TBR. But next month, I think I need a break from a very hard reading, and I just wanted to read something familiar. Say hello to Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone. I've read it a couple of times, like since I was a kid, and I reread this every year ever since. But this year I want to make it a bit different. I want to go into the story by analyzing it as an adult. I think it would be interesting to actually critically reading this book, even though I kind of know the plot already. And yep, join me, and thanks again.